side, heading through Agua Dulce, now heading a little further south here after a successful spike strip attempt on that vehicle. It appears to be a pickup truck. One of the tires did fly off just a moment ago. The front left tire appears, or the front left wheel rather, appears to be affected there, and you can see part of the fender even maybe falling off. Not sure there. You can see the night sun overhead. The helicopter calling out the location of this pursuit. At least 4 CHP units right behind him, doing about 50 to 70 miles per hour for a bulk of the time. He was doing triple-digit speeds, close to 100 miles an hour until he hit that spike strip. You can see the vehicle still behaving fairly well under the conditions, despite the fact that he's missing a front left tire. There is some damage to the vehicle. It is slowing him down, but he is not coming to a stop just yet. He is still making his way southbound on the 14 freeway here, coming up on Sand Canyon Road through Canyon Country here, further south, heading in the direction of the Newhall Pass if he continues towards the 5 freeway. Still, though, holding steady in that number 2 lane. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're taking a live look at a California Highway Patrol chase here down the 14 freeway. That stolen pickup truck on the run from California Highway Patrol. It's been going on for about a half hour or so. It was going up the 14 freeway. He eventually turned around, and now we are heading in the southbound direction after a successful spike strip made contact with that front left wheel. And now you can see that tire is off. He is on a rim, and that rim is starting to smoke a little bit. You're going to start to see it spark here if he continues to grind into the pavement the way he is. It's almost inevitable. He is doing about half the speed that he was earlier, still holding steady in that number 2 lane. We do not know how many people are inside this vehicle, but there are at least 4 California Highway Patrol units right on his tail as he continues to do about 50 to 60 miles per hour. I know. There it is. Starting to grind into the asphalt there as he continues at 50 miles per hour without a tire on that front left wheel. The rim is really starting to get hot, and you can see sparks flying off of that truck as he starts to veer over towards the right. Maybe thinking of pulling over here. This is the first lane change that we have seen since we have been overhead here. He's been holding steady, going in a straight line down the 14 freeway after striking that spike strip at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour. California Highway Patrol still right on his tail here as he gets over to the number 3 lane. Bypassing that exit, committing to the 14 freeway here. He does not have more choices until he gets to the 5 freeway. There's 1 or 2 more interchanges that will allow him to get off of this freeway. Other than that, the 14 will take him to the 5 split at the Newhall Pass, and he will eventually make his way into the San Fernando Valley if this pickup truck has enough steam left. It's a heavy-duty GMC truck that is behaving surprisingly well considering there is no tire there on that front left wheel. But we'll see how much more he can go here. He's starting to slow down a little bit, but still doing about 40 to 50 miles per hour. Holding steady in the number 3 lane here down the 14 freeway at 50 miles per hour. We are not aware of anybody else other than the driver at this point. Still unclear how many people might be in this vehicle, but it is a stolen GMC pickup truck behaving well here as he continues without a front left tire. He is maintaining control here, but we'll see how much longer that lasts. There are 4 black and whites right behind him trying to pull this truck over. He has refused to yield at all ever since they tried to pull him over about a half hour ago, going up the 14 freeway, almost into Palmdale, and then turned around and has covered quite a bit of real estate at triple-digit speeds until he hit that spike strip, and you can see that front left rim is really starting to spark up here as he gets further down the 14. Coming up on Placerita Canyon Road. And that rim is starting to wobble a little bit here. Might not be much left here if he continues at these speeds, just chewing away at that steel and maybe showing signs of slowing down a little more here, or at least, I don't know, he seems to be, yeah, you can see the metal coming off here, but he's still traveling at a pretty decent speed. I would say we've dropped another 10 miles per hour, so now doing about 40 miles per hour, according to our real-time speed tracker here. And you can get a really clear shot now of that front left rim. It's on borrowed time. I can't imagine he's going to make it into the San Fernando Valley, but still, we've seen stranger things. In the meantime, he is not showing any signs of giving up. Slowing down now about 25 to 30 miles per hour. California Highway Patrol coming up on the left rear. More pieces of that rim falling off. He is going to be grinding to a halt here momentarily. Without that front left wheel, this truck is going to start behaving very differently. But remarkable still to see from this angle just how he's able to maintain control. He's essentially driving in a straight line without a front left tire and really without a front left wheel. It is barely circular, and he is still able to move this truck at a pretty decent clip with those CHP units right behind him. Now approaching the 5 freeway here. We have slowed down considerably here, about 40 miles per hour at most. I think closer to 30 here, but he is encountering a traffic break behind him. And they're going to start to shut down the freeway ahead of him here. He's going slow enough that they should be able to do that. You can see California Highway Patrol at the entrance ramps here, and they are getting ready for a felony stop as soon as this truck comes to a stop, and hopefully it is a peaceful end to this pursuit. But here comes the last gasp from that front left rim as he continues in the number 4 lane here. Once again, if you're just joining us on abc7.com and our 24/7 streaming channels, you are continuing to follow this police pursuit, a California highway pursuit, highway patrol pursuit, I should say, chasing down the stolen GMC pickup truck, which has hit a spike strip after covering a good amount of the Santa Clarita Valley up and down the 14 freeway, now approaching the Newhall Pass without a front left tire and very little rim left to speak of as well. He is not showing any signs of getting off the freeway or pulling over peacefully, but it does look like this truck is on borrowed time with 4 black and whites right on his tail, ready for that felony stop that we expect to see here momentarily. Still, though, you see occasional sparks flying off the front left rim. You see metal coming off of the vehicle. It is just a matter of minutes before he eventually comes to a stop, just kind of waiting it out here. They've got time on their side, and they've got all the resources that they're going to need to bring this to an end here. It's going to be up to that vehicle to decide when that rim has had enough, and certainly we've seen quite a bit of deterioration here in the last few minutes. Still, though, doing about 40 miles per hour. We are now in the San Fernando Valley through the Newhall Pass. Has made his way all the way down here from Santa Clarita. Now coming up on Granada Hills as he continues down the 5 freeway. He's got lots of wide open freeway to play with. That tells me that they may have been successful in shutting down maybe 1 or 2 exits ahead of him here. You can see mild traffic right in front of him here and no traffic coming from the back. You can see they have created a traffic break in the rear of this pickup truck. I am surprised that this pickup truck is still moving and behaving the way that it is, but it certainly appears that he is just going to continue this joyride for as long as that truck will hold up. But that rim is really on its last leg. A little more smoke coming from the undercarriage of the vehicle. That might be coming from the rim, presumably. It's still pretty hot. We haven't seen any change in the behavior of this vehicle, but look at that. I mean, he's almost on the axle there. It's incredible. He's basically riding on 3 wheels. Making his way further down the 5 freeway here in the San Fernando Valley, coming up on Roxford in Sylmar in the Granada Hills area. He's got Granada Hills to his right, Sylmar to his left. CHP right behind him here as they just wait for this truck to give up. We do not know how much gas is in the tank. We don't know the circumstances surrounding this Grand Theft Auto, but it certainly appears that he has been really, I have to find out where this started, but we first caught wind of it as he was making his way northbound in towards Palmdale, and then for some reason turned around and has now made his way all the way down here, first on all 4 tires at triple-digit speeds, then eventually hitting a spike strip, and now we are watching what remains of that front left wheel continuing to deteriorate. But allowing him to continue this chase into the San Fernando Valley. Getting a closer look at that front left rim. Clearly a very, very strong rim that's allowing this truck to continue to propel. Now down onto the 405 freeway as he transitions to the 405 southbound. That truck is still moving at a pretty good clip. I don't know how they designed that rim, but it is still managing to take him a good distance here. I'm just surprised that rim is still spinning the way it is. But, I mean, and look at the behavior of the vehicle. He's really able to stay in that lane, almost as if he's got a whole tire on there. It's remarkable. If I'm not mistaken, it almost looks like he's accelerating a little bit. I think he's picked up a little bit of speed as he's gotten onto the 405 freeway, doing about 50 to 55 miles per hour with something still dangling off the front left fender. It looks like it might be a piece of the fender, but the vehicle itself still maintaining remarkable control here. A few more sparks flying there. We saw a little smoke earlier. We saw actual chunks of metal flying off of that rim earlier, and somehow this truck is still drivable. I don't know how, but it is still moving at speeds in excess of 50 miles per hour down the 405 freeway. One would imagine they might be considering another spike strip, maybe trying to take a stab at that front right tire. Some more sparks and debris flying off here. It can't go on forever like this. That much we know, but we have seen some pretty crazy chases that have lasted quite a while on nothing but rims, and this is going to be one of them. And the fact that he still has the other three tires is really playing to his advantage here, because we've seen Kias drive on 4 rims that have gone on for even longer. So it looks like he's coming to the end of this front left rim as those sparks continue to fly. He's actually picking up even more speed. I think maybe even closer to 60 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and throw up the real-time speed tracker. And now we're doing almost 70 miles per hour, generating all that heat, and that explains those sparks. But still controlling the vehicle, driving pretty stably down the 405 freeway here in North Hills. Still pressing that gas pedal, picking up even more speed here. Fortunately, a wide open 405 freeway here with very little traffic in his way. Looking down the freeway here, it remains pretty light all the way through Van Nuys as he makes his way past Roscoe here in just a second. He's continuing to hold steady in that number 1 lane actually. Right next to the HOV lane there, CHP right behind him. And this is going to be the end of that rim as he goes down to the axle here. A lot more sparks flying, a fireball of sparks coming from underneath that vehicle. That spike strip has certainly, done its job, but you still have those other 3 wheels. Look at, he's pulling off now and maybe going to continue the chase, or maybe you can tell just from the control of the vehicle that maybe it's going to come to a stop here. It can't be very comfortable, but he's going to give it all it's got as he gets off at Roscoe Boulevard, signaling. Here he goes. Suspect out of the vehicle, driver with his hands up, and now ready to surrender to CHP at the end of the off-ramp here. He's at the 405 Roscoe exit with his hands up in the air. That wheel is gone. Look at that. That is all brakes and hub right there, and that truck has basically gone the distance, and the suspect now with his hood up will be complying, it appears, with California Highway Patrol commands as he steps backwards in the direction of those law enforcement officers with their guns drawn, executing the felony stop here with the suspect prepared to give this up peacefully. Thankfully, nobody hurt in this pursuit. The suspect with his hands on his head, now about to be placed into custody after a high-speed chase with a truck that just refused to give up. Only one spike strip is all it took, but that tire and that rim, it really did the job here. It looks like almost like a brand new truck right off the lot there, and that is all she wrote for this pursuit. That stolen vehicle now headed to probably, well, they'll probably total that one. But yeah, this is over. Look at this. Unbelievable. CHP clearing the vehicle, giving the code 4. Only the driver in that truck, and he has been placed under arrest. And that will do it for our coverage from up here in Air 7. One driver in custody, a GMC truck commercial in the can, and man, I got to tell you, I did not think that was going to make it all the way down here into the Van Nuys area. This was a real shocker, but thankfully it's over. Again, nobody hurt here. I'm Chris Chrissy reporting live from Air 7. That'll do it.